Hey guys, it's Joe, and this is Pocket with Joe for Sunday, May 22nd, 2022. I hope everyone's Sunday is starting off perfectly. The sun is shining here, so absolutely is my way. And we have three amazing NHL games today. Now, while everyone jumps on the stream here, let's just have a look at what we saw yesterday in the one game that we had. And now the Colorado Avalanche and the St. Louis Blues played yesterday with the Avs coming out and getting a 5-2 win. Now, the whole game changed in this game so quickly. The St. Louis Blues were playing a phenomenal game. Binghamton got ran over in net. He had to come off the ice. We had Husso come in for him. Now, hats off to Husso. He came in cold into this game. He still played a phenomenal game. The defense really did try to limit those shots on goal, but the Colorado Avalanche got the win yesterday, 5-2 win in a game that I think if we did not see Binghamton leave the ice, the St. Louis Blues would have won that. I completely think it changed the entire game, and everything about it just was not right for the St. Louis Blues. So let's jump into today's games, you guys. These three games are going to be absolutely fantastic. With the Florida Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, this one kicks off at 3:30 Eastern. We have the Panthers coming in here at -115, -105 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the total is set at 6.5. When we look at this, Tampa has won the first two games of the series. You guys, they lead it 2-0. Florida were unable to get things done at home. Florida's biggest problem is they cannot get anything done on the power play, aren't able to get those goals. And I don't know if I can trust them here. Their backs are against the wall. They are now in Tampa. They really need to get a win. But can they against the Tampa Bay Lightning? I'm not touching a side in this one. We see the Panthers, they are 1-4 in the last of 5 meetings versus the Lightning. And then in Tampa Bay, they have really struggled, only winning 8 of the last 29 meetings in Tampa Bay. I don't know. This is going to be a hard game. Florida Panthers really need to get stuff done. We saw the first game be a 4-1 win for the Lightning. The second game, 2-1 win for the Lightning. I think in this one, we can lean on the over 6.5. I think there is going to be, because the Panthers are in this kind of scramble mode, they can't go down 3-0 in this game. I think there's going to be mistakes, and I think there's going to be goals in this one. We see the Florida Panthers. They are outstanding normally offensively, just haven't been able to get stuff done. I know we have two strong goalies in here with Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky, but I really do think taking the over 6.5 is a good way to go. You could buy it down to 6 and pay a little bit more for that. So at least you get the push if it's a 4-2 style game. But I do think we have a stronger game out of these teams offensively, and we go over the 6.5. I was looking at the first period over 1.5, but you guys were paying too much juice at -166. So don't love that. But I definitely think we're going to see goals. Looking at the team totals for both of these teams, the books are expecting the goals too. With a total of 6.5, normally we have one of the teams at a 2.5 for their team total, and the other one a 3.5. Both of these teams in this one are 3.5, with the overs getting plus money there. So the Tampa Bay Lightning coming in over 3.5 at +130, and the Florida Panthers over 3.5 at +126. Like I said, I'm staying off a side here. I really do think there is mistakes made tonight, and we do see this game go over the total, although we have seen the last two go under it, and the under is so strong between these two, 6-2 in the last 8 meetings. This is one of those games where if you don't have to bet this game, it's probably a good one to stay off. But the over in Tampa is 22-9 in the last 31 meetings. So that is the only bet that I'm going to play in this, is the over 6.5, because I do see that one coming in. But again, this is not one that I'm laying a lot of money in this one. Braden Point is day-to-day for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which he is absolutely phenomenal. If he's going to play, I would look at some prop bets for him, but I think he's going to be out with injury today. The next game on the board, you guys, this is going to be a good one. The Carolina Hurricanes are taking on the New York Rangers. Now the Canes lead this series 2-0. They are -115 here on the money line, -105 for the New York Rangers. And this total has dropped down from 6 to 5.5. And I think we can count on another under game. Ranta is doing fantastic for the Carolina Hurricanes with a 2.45 goals against average on the season. The Canes won the first 2 games of this series in low scoring fashion. In game 1, that was an overtime win for them, 2-1. And in game 2, they won it 2-0. Now, Shesterkin is in for the New York Rangers, 2.07 goals against average. Both of these teams can get the goals, but we've got the number 1 and number 2 defenses with goals allowed against. And I really do see both of these teams coming out playing a strong defensive game. The first period under 1.5, I think, is a fantastic way to look at this. I actually like it better than the full game under 5.5. So the first period under 1.5 is a -130 here. And I think you can also look for the New York Rangers to have a great game here at home. I'm going to take the New York Rangers on the money line at -105. The Rangers are so strong at home, going 4-1 in their last 5 home games. They're also strong as a home underdog, going 6-2 in their last 8 games as a home underdog. The Canes have won the last 4 meetings, but they have struggled in New York, going 9-27-1 in their last 37 meetings in New York. Give me the New York Rangers here, you guys, to come in and get a nice home win and make this a 2-1 series. Now, the last game of the night, I'm so excited for this one. I'm going to be watching with my mom out at a pub. Well, my mom, my daughter, and hopefully my son wants to come. But it's going to be a good one, you guys. We've got the Calgary Flames taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Now, this series is tied 1 apiece in a game that, it could go either way. This is a fantastic series. We have the Calgary Flames coming in here as a favorite on the road at -120. The Edmonton Oilers at +100. Now, this total opened at 6.5 and flew up to 7, you guys. We've seen such a high scoring 2 games out of these teams, with the first game being a 9-6 win for the Calgary Flames. Total breakdown defensively for both of these teams. Breakdown goaltending-wise for both of these teams. Yes, Calgary got the win, but they did not play a phenomenal game. Sure, both teams scored goals, but 9-6 style game in the playoffs, I don't think anyone was bragging about that. Now, the Edmonton Oilers won game 2, 5-3. We saw them completely limit Calgary. Now, there was a goal. I really do think there was 2 goals in that game that should have counted as goals, where the refs called it off, saying the puck was under the goalie. It was clear as day that it wasn't under Mike Smith in the second goal that I'm talking about for the Calgary Flames. That one really should have counted. Now, the one against the Edmonton Oilers, I think it should have counted too, if I'm being fair. I think this would have been a 6-4 game if those refs didn't call those ones off. So in this one, I can't go any other way but take that over 6.5. We look at Edmonton. They are going to be driving like crazy. We've got an Edmonton Oilers team that is so strong offensively. For them to get this win, it can't be in a low defensive game. They just don't play that style of game. Mike Smith is always a question mark in goal for them. You can't really trust him. And then for the Calgary Flames, they are so strong offensively. They can get these goals. We see them get back-to-back multiple goals, opening that first period in the last game, getting those 2. Now, I looked at the first period over. The books are expecting a strong first period, so there is no value there. The over's 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. I think we're pretty safe. It's still going over the 7. You could buy it down to 6.5. I probably would recommend that because I could see it being a 4-3 game. I don't love getting that push. I'd rather pay the extra money because this one is going to be a great game. We really need Markstrom for the Calgary Flames to start playing like Markstrom. Allowing those 5 goals by the Edmonton Oilers just isn't like him. The Calgary Flames, too, need to tighten up completely defensively. Now, home ice is a huge advantage between these two, with the home team going 6-1 in the last 7 meetings. I don't want to say take the Edmonton Oilers, but there is value in taking them here. Calgary has just struggled in Edmonton in those last 7 games. They've only won 1 of their last 7 in Edmonton, but the favorite is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. I don't love taking this one anywhere else but the over and buying it down to 6.5 because I hate going against my Calgary Flames. I think they can probably get one of the wins here in Edmonton. I think whoever wins it today, take the opposite team tomorrow, because I really do think this is a back and forth, one win style battle between these two all the way to game number 7. You guys, I'm going to prop bet this one more than I'm going to do anything else. So let's look at some prop bets for the Calgary Flames. Now you can get Coleman shots on goal. It is over 2.5 at plus 120. I'm going to be taking that. And then Lindholm for the Calgary Flames. His assists over 0.5. We're getting it at plus 160 now. He's hit this in 4 of his last 5 games. I definitely see Lindholm getting an assist here. And at plus 160, I'm absolutely loving it. Another safer way to go with this is Johnny Goudreau of the Calgary Flames. His assists over 0.5. We're paying juice on it at minus 125, but he has got an assist in all 5 of his last 5 games. Draisaitl for the Edmonton Oilers. Great prop here with him to over 0.5 is minus 136. So for his assists. So we are paying juice with him. But if you took a parlay of Johnny Goudreau and Draisaitl, both over 0.5 assists, it would be a nice payoff there, combining those two. Connor McDavid, you can get his points over 1.5. It's hit 5 of his last 5 as well. Really highly juiced. I won't be betting this. It's minus 150. But his shots on goal over 4.5, you can get that at plus 100, and that is hit in 4 of his last 5. So those are the props that I'm looking at today within this. With the Connor McDavid points over 1.5, I don't think I will play that one. I will play his shots on goal over that 4.5. I think both of these goalies will be getting tons of shots on them today. I'm just going to look at, while I have you guys here, the total shots on goal for this one, for the over and under in that, because we have been seeing both of these teams driving to the net. And I think it probably would be a good thing to look at, because there's no value on the first period for the over 1.5. It's one of those games where we're going to be paying a lot of juice in a lot of situations. Now, Mike Smith's over under today is for saved goals is 31.5. Got Jacob Markstrom coming in here at 28.5. I'm not loving either number. We've seen both the defenses really be able to limit those shots on goal in certain situations. So there's nothing else I really like in this one, you guys. I'm just looking at some different lines that we can get. And I think this is just going to be a high scoring game. I think that's the best way to take this. But let's do a quick recap of everything here, you guys. This is going to be a fantastic day of hockey. Let me know if you're watching this in the comments, what you're taking in the comments below this video, what you're taking. Robert, thank you for your input here. Robert saying, if the Oilers took one in Calgary, this is the game number 3 where Calgary takes one home ice advantage. Yeah, I can see that. I really do think Calgary takes a game in Edmonton. Home ice is so important between these two. But like you said, Edmonton was able to get one done. I really do think this is probably a back and forth battle. I could see Edmonton pulling off the first win and then Calgary pulling off the second. I just think we just really need to tighten up defensively. I'm not loving what I'm seeing out of my Calgary Flames on the defensive side of things. For Markstrom to let in 5 goals and 6 in the previous game to the Edmonton Oilers. We know the Oilers are playing phenomenal, but I think that over is definitely a strong way to go. Markstrom does need to tighten up. I might look at the Calgary Flames team total. The more I talk about this, the more ways I could take this. Just let me look at their team total for this one. I wrote it over 3.5 last time. And you know what? I think I'm going to write it over 3.5 again. I just can't trust Mike Smith and the defense of the Edmonton Oilers to always have a phenomenal game. And I actually like this over 3.5 better than I do the full game. Like I did last time, we saw that fourth goal come in. We saw that fourth goal taken back. The over 3.5 is plus 108 here. I think Calgary can get over that 3.5. And with that plus money, I'm going to take it. So let's do a recap of all the bets here, you guys. And yeah, I'll let you have a beautiful Sunday. I'm excited for today. It's going to be a great day on the ice. So the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, I'm going to be writing the over 6.5 in this one. I'm looking for offensively both of these teams to step up. Florida Panthers need to get their power play going. And I think in this game, there will be mistakes and there will be goals let in by Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky that really shouldn't have been let in. But we've seen 2 games go under. I think this one goes over. So give me the over 6.5. The Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Going to take the New York Rangers here on the money line to make this a 2-1 series. They can't go down 3. Carolina has struggled in New York, going 9-27-1 in the last 37 meetings in New York. Give me also the first period under 1.5. I like it better than the full game. Under 1.5 is minus 130. No fear of those empty netters pushing us over the full total in this one. I do lean to the under for the full game. But like I said, I like that first period under way better. I know we're paying some juice at minus 130, but fingers crossed that one does not go over. The last game of the night, the Calgary Flames taking on the Edmonton Oilers. I talked myself into the Calgary Flames team total over 3.5 right here on the show with you guys. So thank you for putting me onto that when I was talking. I do like the over 6.5. Sorry, it's moved up to 7. I like the over 6.5. So I'm going to buy down that 0.5 point in case it's a 4-3 game. I don't like the push. I don't want to push there. And I'm going to prop bet this one. Now the prop bets I was looking at, let me just pull them up here. I'm going to take Coleman shots on goal, including overtime, over 2.5 at plus 120. I'm also going to take Lindholm assists over 0.5 at plus 160, hit 4 of his last 5. Coleman's prop has hit his shots on goal 5 of his last 5. On the other side of the puck, Connor McDavid shots on goal, including overtime, over 4.5 at plus 100, hit 4 of his last 5. And then Leon Draisaitl, his assists over 0.5 at minus 136. It's hit in 5 of his last 5. And Johnny Goudreau, assists over 0.5 at minus 125. Again, has hit in 5 of his last 5. I definitely think these are great ways to take this game in a game that's really going to be about scoring between these two teams. Although defense really needs to step up. I'm hoping to see more defense in this game, especially out of my Calgary Flames. But you guys, thank you for joining me for Puck It with Joe. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible day. Keep smiling and you know the drill. Let's make some freaking money. Bye, guys.